Hey, what's up guys? I'm gonna make a video here talking a little bit about how to rehydrate dry tobacco. And I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm not gonna talk in circles like I normally do. I'm getting right to the nitty-gritty here because it is very, very simple to do. Okay, in this case, I have that Five Brothers pipe tobacco from 1948. It's 65 years old and it has been stored who knows how. And it is literally probably the driest tobacco I've ever seen and ever will see. It's been drying out for 65 years, so it's pretty dry. Took a little bit out and put it into the Ziploc bag, wetted a paper towel down with distilled water, and you want to wring it out so it's not dripping, but you still want it saturated. Put it in the Ziploc bag and create a nice perfect seal. What you're doing is you're creating an airtight space with moisture. Okay, you put this in a slightly warm area. You can leave it on your desk, but a good place to put this would be behind your TV or behind like your cable box, any kind of electronics that are on. They emit that heat. You can also put this on the vents on, let's say, a VCR or DVD player or something. Keep in mind, don't cover the vents completely. They're there so that the electronics don't overheat, but that will give you a nice warm area. Okay, the same as if you're germinating seeds. If you really want to get extreme, if you happen to have a heated blanket or something, you can put it on a low setting and just leave it on there. But what you're doing is with the slight warmth around the bag, you're creating humidity. The humidity is circulating throughout the bag, and the very, very dry tobacco is going to absorb that and moisten. Now, when you're testing tobacco to see if it's too wet or too dry, you want to pinch it. It's the pinch test, okay? If you pinch it and it feels like you're breaking and cracking the tobacco and it's crumbling in your fingers, it's too dry. If it feels like you just picked up full leaves and you're squeezing them in your hand, that's way too dry. It's not supposed to break. It's not supposed to make much noise at all. It's supposed to be very silent. And vice versa, if your tobacco sticks together in a clump, it's too wet. It's way too moist. So in the case that it's too dry, you want to rehydrate it by just using moisture. That's it. Distilled water works best because there's no other contaminants. If you use tap water, you could get chlorine flavor and taste in your tobacco. Although very minute, it's better to just stay clear of it. You can find distilled water at your grocery stores, but they usually keep it in the cleaning section. If you look by the cleaning products, that's where they keep distilled water in my place anymore. They used to keep it by the regular spring water, but supposedly it's not for consumption, so it's a cleaning agent as opposed to water to drink. So as to not confuse us, the consumer, they keep it by the cleaning stuff. But distilled water is basically it's steam that's collected, so there's no contaminants in there. There's no heavy metals or anything like that. It's the purest form of water. So that's all you got to do. This is the easiest way to rehydrate tobacco. There are multiple ways you can do this. Some people will put the tobacco in some kind of container or tin, and they will use a very fine spray bottle, same deal, distilled water, and they will spritz it 2 or 3 times, walk away. Wait 2-3 hours, come back, mix it up a little bit, give it another little spritz. They're directly applying the water to the tobacco. I personally don't like doing that because I find that in the past when I've done that, you can overhydrate it. Now it's too wet. Plus, when you're directly adding water to the tobacco, you might invite mold and other kind of problems like that. So I think this is the best, most straightforward, easiest way to explain rehydrating tobacco. Airtight container, doesn't have to be completely airtight, but airtight enough. Ziploc bag works fine. Use distilled water to dampen a paper towel. Toilet paper work too. Just use enough of it so it's not just a little piece. And wring it out so it's not dripping wet. You don't want distilled water dripping into your tobacco. You just want to create a humid little environment, put it in a semi-warm area, and wait 24 hours. Now it's been 2 days for this tobacco, and this is almost there. This is a rare case because this was literally as dry as it can possibly get. But through the bag, I can feel the difference. It's not crunching and crumbling into dust. Okay, there's actually a little bit of give because it's moistened now. Okay, and plus I can tell with the color change. It's slightly darker than it was when it was completely dry. But this is going to be trial and error. And if you overhydrate it, it gets too moist. When you pinch it together, it shouldn't clump at all. It should not stick to itself. It should just not crumble, but it should just fall freely. So if you overhydrate it, you can then dry it out by simply just leaving it out in an open container. That's it. It'll dry out over time. So that's it. Hopefully that was helpful for you. When you're doing this method in a bag, don't let your tobacco touch whatever it is. If I were to shake this up, for the obvious reason that your tobacco would stick to this, and whatever sticks to it, you're not going to collect off. So it's just basically wasting it. So just keep it separate and make sure your seal is all the way down, and that's it. So for most of you out there, it's going to take anywhere between, say, 8 hours and 24 hours to take an average dried out tobacco and bring it back up to snuff, like the day it was made. So it's a pretty simple process. There's no magic involved here, just a little bit of humidity and time. So I hope that helps you guys out. If you you know, are trying this for yourself, if you do have a dried out tobacco and you want to test this out, film it. Make a video response. Let people know, maybe your mistakes or what works for you, what doesn't work for you. It's how we all learn, by sharing knowledge. So please, all video responses are welcome. If you have other ways that you hydrate tobacco, I'd love to hear it as well. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. I thank you very much for watching. And yes, when this is completely done, not right away, but in the future, I will smoke this 65-year-old tobacco and let you know what it's like. I do know for a fact that Five Brothers tobacco is inherently a very strong tobacco. It's very high in nicotine content, so it might completely kick my butt. And the fact that it is so old might add to that. Who knows? It will certainly be an experience, so that's for a future video. In the meantime, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Take care, guys.